Hello, wonderful, beautiful, wonderful, I said that twice, people of the internet, it's Kendall here. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're not new around here, what is up, home skillet biscuit? Check my stubby nails. They still look awful because I needed to try to kind of braid my hair under here today. I didn't do a very good job. You can see like all my thoughts, just like quality. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is a full face of NYX products. If you ever want to have in some way any say in videos that I make, you should probably follow me on Twitter because I'm always spewing whatever comes to mind at the moment. I went on there asking you guys what the next video should be and everyone said we wanted a full face of NYX products, so I moseyed my way over to Ulta and now we have this. I asked you guys what your favorite products were. I tried to get as many of them as I could, and then admittedly some of these are just things that I saw. I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool, and I just put it in here. So I don't know if all of them are like really super popular products per se, but we're gonna try everything out. But before we get started, I want to do a shout out to today's sponsor. Thank you for leaving the lights on, ShopTagger. I'm teaming up with ShopTagger again. For those of you that don't know what ShopTagger is, it's an app and a Google Chrome plugin you can use to be able to notify you when things go on sale. I always thought that it's really, really cool for, you know, stocking out makeup that I'm trying to keep my eye on. You can use it for clothes, shoes, luxury items, especially luxury items, because you want to know when those go on sale so that you can save that money, sis. You can get notified all types of ways, through your phone, through an email. I get a lot of notifications through my watch, so that's really, really helpful. I've never been more up to date to knowing when things go on sale than I have now. All you have to do is click the plugin and it'll be able to add all your things. And if you want to, you can organize it in cool little lists so you can have a lookout for when everything goes on sale. You can mark it to tell you when there's a sale at all, when there's a sale for 50% or more. You can kind of dictate what you consider to be a sale, and then you can have happy shopping experiences. So again, big thanks to ShopTagger for sponsoring this video. If you want to check it out, I'll have it down below in the description box. And now let's get started to the main event. Say hello to Martha, my cute little post-period pimple. She wanted to say hi, so hi. Now, I'm in no way a particular newbie to NYX. You know what I mean? I have a lot of products, a lot of faves even from NYX, but I do realize that I haven't been as up to date in many ways with their products. I always considered NYX to be a very cool drugstore brand, lesser expensive brand, because they were one of the first drugstore brands that I remember buying, you know, when I was in 8th grade that was really into color. And back then, drugstore was not the place to find cool colors of makeup. It just, that had to be like artistry, high-end or higher-end makeup, MAC makeup and above in the price range situation. Whereas NYX was like, we want you to have fun, do whatever you want. There are no rules type makeup, and I was really into that. I feel nostalgic, I guess, about NYX in a lot of ways. But with that said, I did know that I want to go bright today with my eye makeup. I haven't gone like bright in a little while. So we're gonna do our eyes first because I always forget to do that. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer on my lids to just color correcting more so than priming per se. This is not a NYX concealer, so I'm starting out great. But actually I forgot that I threw all my NYX concealers away because they were old. They were very old. And then when I got to Ulta, my Ulta sucks and did not even have any NYX concealers. Makeup Revolution, so if you're in Ulta, this is also sold there, so you can just pick that up. So now it's time to go in with this bad boy. Ultimate Shadow Palette. So immediate issue. There is no mirror. With that said, I don't recall there being any NYX palettes with mirrors. At least not the ones that were at my crappy Ulta. There probably are other ones that have mirrors, but it's 2019! It is the year of our Lord 2019, and I'm tired of seeing palettes with no mirrors, but I'm not gonna take up time right now. We're just gonna go into the shadows. I know I wanna avoid the pinks and stuff because I do everything in pink, like burnt orangey color as like a little transition before I do other stuff, because I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I've been kind of bored with the natural colors. I don't know why, but I just naturally end up doing a whole lot of like warm, as I put a warm color in my crease, pinky looks a lot. I don't know why, that's my comfort zone apparently. And we're gonna try to get out of that today, or at least turn it on its head and make it a little different. And I thought this palette looked kind of inspirational for that. So this like yellow color, and put that also in that general area. I think what I want to do is put like something really kind of cool and icy on the lid, because it'll be like fire and ice. Look at me being elemental. Playing too much Final Fantasy. Oh, speaking of which, Lord, I need to lay off the games, because honestly, it is really taking a lot of my time. Or maybe I really should get that Twitch channel going, because like, girl. I was playing Final Fantasy X again. I've still never finished that game, but I got farther than I did before. Then I get a little farther and then I just lose. And then I go online and look for help, and everybody's like, well, if you would have done this thing that only nerds that have nothing else better to do, or people that read the guidebook have done. But that's where I've been, and it's just like, it's been taking up so much time. With that said, I'm so happy. If you want to play RPGs and you've never played one, please play Final Fantasy X. Personally, it's my favorite Final Fantasy. That might be because it's the only one I've played almost in its entirety, but the rest of them are dumb because I said so, because Final Fantasy X is so good. I just can't beat it. And also, low-key, the storyline has made me cry every single time. Every time. I'm not gonna say what it's about, but it's so good. It's still amazing. It's actually more amazing now that I'm older. I used to play it when I was like 10. Oh my god, as an adult, god, it's so good. Now that we're all warm, I'm gonna go in with this oldie but goodie. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. Remember 2008 and everybody used? This was the GOAT. This was the pencil that everybody used as their basis for like bright colors, for good reason. I don't know why we stopped doing this. This is the base for brights, dude. It still is. With that said, I tried like the pot white one. Awful, don't use it. I got some of the foil play eyeshadows. These are like loose pigment foil glittery colors. Got 3. I got these green ones, so apparently I'm leaning green. I know I want to use this Happy Hippie color. It's like a neon lime green. I'm gonna use another one of these. This one's called Dauntless. Kind of like a bronze pearly color. I'm going to use that majority on the center of the lid, blending into the green. What do you call this? Not quite an emerald green, just a true green. And I'm gonna go in the outer corner. I'm taking just a little bit of that same color just to the front, so that blends in a little better. At first I thought I wanted like a proper cut crease, but I'm just not feeling it today, so I'm just gonna blend everything at the top so that it just gets shimmery and kind of shimmers off into nothing. This outer corner isn't giving me like depth, so I'm gonna go in with my last pigment, Digital Glitch, and I'm just gonna put that in the outer corner. So as far as like the blending eyeshadow experience, I actually really like that. The pigments, they're a little chunky. That was something I was noticing as I was putting them on. I'm like, ooh, that's chunky. The liner here, this is the Epic Ink Liner. And it was able to give me like some really nice squigglies, really fine tip on that. I don't know if it's me or if it's feathering like on my eye. That's a concern, because if I'm doing a liner, I don't want it to feather because it'll kind of mess with the sharpness. Also, it's not giving me like a super black inky look. Well, actually it looks a little shiny. It's a liner. I've had better though. Now the epic trial of trying to get both of my eyeliners to match. That's gonna match as good as it's gonna match. Okay, so primer. I got 2 primers. I don't know why. To be honest, I'm a very hot and cold person when it comes to primers. I use them sometimes. I don't use them a lot. But I figured I really wanted to try this one because it looked interesting. This is the Honey Do Me Up primer. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this, so I wouldn't know whether or not this is one of their more popular ones, but I'm a lover of really like dewy foundation, dewy skin. Because I'm dry as the Sahara. So this sounded fun. It's like kind of sticky, i.e. honey textured, and I wanted to see what this would do to the overall look of my foundation. It might not do anything. I don't know. That feels really nice. It doesn't feel like a primer though. It feels like just a really nice skincare step. And then there's this. This is the No Filter primer. I wanted to try this because I've had just a little bit of rough skin right here. I did exfoliate before this, so maybe that will help a little bit as well, but I wanted to use this to see if it will help smooth out this area right here. smoother in this middle part. I do think that really blurred out. I don't know if it's gonna matter when I end up putting on foundation, but here you go. So everybody in Name Mama was recommended to me to try out Can't Stop, Won't Stop. There were so many colors. I had no idea which color would have been mine. One that I ended up with was golden, and I'm just gonna do one pump for now because I don't know. She's thick. She has a scent. It smells chemical. I have a sneaking suspicion that the color that I should have gotten was the one under this, or I think it was called caramel, but I swatched it and thought it was a little bit too, something was off about it, and I feel like it would probably have been my perfect color when it dried down, but I didn't let it dry down. So we gonna be yellow today. I do have another color. Maybe I'll just put this on top or mix it together. That's called Golden Honey. I don't blame NYX. I blame myself. I'm sure there would have been a closer match, but me in a rush, I was like, oh, these look vaguely around my color, so we'll try these. Nope. As far as the foundation itself though, that is coverage, like that is I'm hiding my sins. Okay, it's cool. I'm just gonna be yellow today. A little jaundice. Never hurt nobody. It's definitely a matte, but I feel like it's sitting well on the skin in the sense that it's not looking super dry. I don't know if that has to do with the primer as well. The primer probably kind of balanced everything out, the Do Me Up primer. But we're definitely gonna need to do some warmth around this perimeter because I look like Queen Bee, not Beyonce, like an actual bumblebee. Honeycomb fresh, honeycomb realness. So I'm gonna go under my eyes with that same concealer from Makeup Revolution. The color that I use, this is C12. Okay, so this is definitely high coverage drugstore beat, but it looks really good as far as like coverage wise. I'll bring you guys a little closer so you can see good actually. It doesn't look super duper dry the way that I expected it to. Again, I don't really know if that's the primer maybe that's giving it that, because I did hear some people thought it was quite dry on their dry skin, but for me, it looks pretty good. Like it's dry, it's like, it's matte, but it does have like a little bit of a sheen under there. I did get a bronzer. Probably shouldn't have gotten this because I also got the contour palette, which may have something that is either exactly like this or very similar, in deep tan. Overall, I will say that I've just always really enjoyed NYX powder products, blushes, eyeshadows. Ooh, she's red. She's a red bronze. Okay, that's pulling a little bit redder than I would like it to. It might also be because I'm so yellow right now that it's probably just the contrast, but I'm gonna bring that more onto the cheek than I was planning to, just so that it can kind of tie everything together, because it's looking a little bit red to me. That's fine. It can balance out a little bit of the yellowness that's going on. They didn't have much to choose from in the powder foundation section, at least at my Ulta, so I just went in. That's a lot lighter than I thought it was, yo. This is the NYX Stay Matte Not Flat foundation in natural beige. That was probably the problem. I'm just gonna use it to set my under eye though, so it should be fine. Just pressing it in and then wiping it away. Actually, no, that looks fine. That looks good, actually. It really smoothed out this area. Just going into these areas that tend to get a little like crepey and creased up. I'm not really particularly sure about the color range for this, so I don't want to say it's awful, but at the place that I was at, they had 3 colors, which is like, what? It looks nice and smooth in this area. It's just real bright, way brighter than I usually go for. So I guess it's time to try out the contour palette. This has been around for a while. This is the NYX contour palette. It has 3 matte highlights, 1 shimmery highlight over here, kind of like bronzer contour-y colors. I'm gonna go in with this because this looks like it would be a good bronzer for me, and I'm gonna go over the other bronze situation because it's just a little too red for what we're going for today, and see if that can kind of neutralize that out a little bit, make it a little bit more like a orange bronze as opposed to a red bronze. Yeah, that's a lot better. I just was picking wrong colors everywhere today, but it's cool. I'm gonna just like mix these 2 colors and do like my contour here. Is anyone else like this? Like, I retain water only on one side of my face, and it's really weird. Like, this side is a lot sharper and this side just holds like an extra chin. It's so weird. So I'm gonna go in and shave off this half of my chin. And I guess take it to the other side too, but like more heavy on this side. I kind of feel like my eye makeup isn't gonna be as dramatic as I want it to be if I don't do like a contour. So I'm gonna take the same colors and go like cut a cheekbone. You know, give me a little bit more structure, make me a little bit more mature, because otherwise I just look like a 4-year-old playing in makeup. I am feeling this contour palette. This is dope. The only issue that I have is that there's no freaking mirror, and because there's no mirror, I'm like, I gotta go all the way up here, like, oh, is this it? I remember a few people were kind of liking this a few years ago, and then kind of the hype died down because, you know, a million new products come out, and contouring overall, like, everyone does it, so there's no reason to like hype it up anymore, but it is bomb. Okay, I've always been a big fan of NYX blushes, but somehow over time I don't have any anymore. And again, the crappy Ulta that I went to only had a few different types of blushes from NYX, even though they had so many NYX products. That's what's so weird about NYX. NYX has so many products that it's actually really hard to know what is good and what's not, and what you've tried and what you haven't and all that stuff. But I decided to try out the ombre blushes. This one in particular looks as though it would be good for our look here. This is in Nude to Me Soft Flush. So I'm gonna do Nude to Me. This is kind of like an ombre. I don't know what that adds to it. I guess you can go higher up if you want more of it to be highlighted. There's a little bit of shimmer in this, so I guess the blush and then the highlighter's up there, but I'm gonna be using a different highlighter. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Just the slightest bit of sheen in that, but the color itself, yeah, there's like a highlight in it, but it's not super strong. Ooh, that's kind of cute. Only problem is I don't know how much I can bring it in right here because the sheen will get it looking a little funky. Somebody recommended me to get the Mochi highlighter palette, so I decided to get that Lit Life palette. Greeny gold would go so well with this eyeshadow look. Actually, those are a lot softer than I expected. So let's go in with this kind of like taupey bronze, a little bit of the gold. It is giving me what I'm asking for. It's giving me high shine. It's giving me revolting. It's giving me danger. Again, NYX's powders have never really been an issue though. Their powders are pretty ridiculous, redonkulous, and always have been, honestly. I look wet. But it looks good. It looks nice. I like it. Time to finish up the eyes. I've never tried a NYX mascara. This is worth the hype. I hope it is worth the hype, but considering I've heard absolutely no hype about it, it's not really saying much. That's a big ass brush. I remember back in the day, they used to talk about how, oh, we have the biggest brush. And I'm like, why is that a good thing? Whose idea was that? Like, yeah, our jumbo sized brush gets every lash. I'm like, it also pokes you in the eye. Like, whose brilliant idea was this? They're talking about how great it was that their brush was the biggest brush, and this mascara sucks. This is definitely the low point of this video so far. It's cool. I'm gonna go pop a lash on right now anyway, so it's fine. I'll be right back. Okay, our lashes are secured, and now I'm really enjoying this look a lot more, other than how my hairline is trying to run away from the scene of the crime. And this look is kind of a banger. If I do say so myself, I actually really like this eye look. I got some eyebrow pencils. These are different from the ones that I usually use from NYX. Oh no, I don't have it anymore, but NYX makes like an Anastasia dupe that's really good, but I threw my last one away because I bought the wrong color. Now I remember why I threw it away. I bought chocolate, and I need to get dark brown or like black, not black, but like gray or something like that. So I decided to try these out now. These are the Precision Brow Pencil. This is like a flat pencil, and I thought it looked interesting. So charcoal, espresso. I think I'm gonna do charcoal because I don't want my eyebrows to go too warm, especially because of this eye look. It'll look a little funky. It has a nice little spoolie at the end. That was a sexy experience. I really enjoyed this. That's a brow. They also have a color that's one darker than this if you want to go like pitch black, but this is like a really dark gray. Gonna go back into our mirrorless palette. The terracotta, the mustard yellow, and these greens together, or maybe not the green, we'll see, to get everything on the lower lash line tied in. Excuse me while I go get another mirror in order to do this. Okay, Okay, so next, lip products. I know their matte lip creams are really popular. I know the butter glosses are really popular, but I really wanted to try something different because I tried both of those and they're good, but like, I don't get the hype, honestly. I think they're nice. I don't think they're groundbreaking by any means. These are the Slip Tease lip lacquers. I don't know if these are new. I don't know if these are old, but they look kind of like a very high coverage lip gloss type thing. And I was kind of curious about like this burnt orangey color, but maybe not today. I have Sandalwood, Decadent, and Camel. Camel would be random, wouldn't it? Let's go with Camel. That is a very random color to go with this, but I love it. Last but not least, we gotta do the OG. I feel like I've neglected it. I've kind of forgotten about it because I have my Spore Glow Fix Mist. This was the original GOAT. This is the NYX Dewy Setting Spray, which is still amazing and is a very similar thing to the Spore thing, but it's like a more toned down version of the Spore. Spore is like hyper glowy. This is just kind of like glowy. Let's talk, let's conversate about NYX products overall. Let's start with the duds so that we can end on a positive note, because there's a lot more positive than negatives actually. This mascara is nothing. It's like honeydew in mascara form. It's just like solid and not much flavor. It didn't make my lashes much longer, neither thicker. It did make them blacker. I'm actually gonna throw this away. This is trash. The liner is also not very good. I feel like it wasn't very opaque and it wasn't able to sustain itself over eyeshadows. Like even where it's not pigment as much, it's just eyeshadow, it just looks very dull and flat. It took a lot of building up, which is never good for a liquid liner, because if you're having a hard enough time to do your eyeliner the first time, it's gonna suck having to do it like 3 times afterwards. These pigments, they're a little chunky. I'm gonna keep them. I'm not gonna just throw them in the trash like I am the other 2 products. I think maybe using it maybe without as many bases and see kind of how it works when it's like true form by itself, or maybe directly on a primer we'll see. This bronzer is weird. I don't know if I like it or dislike it. I don't know if it's because I put it on this foundation. As far as like color wise, it made it go really, really red. I think it would be even prettier as a blush on me. But if you have deeper skin tone than me, this would actually be really pretty as a bronzer maybe. Good powder, like the powder is good, it blended really nice, just color's a little off for me. These ombre blushes were really pretty. They have the slightest bit of sheen though, kind of limits the amount I can use it like right here, because then it starts to just look a little funky there. But as long as I'm using it on the outer cheeks, it looks really pretty and fresh. I want to use it on a lighter foundation day though, because I think it would look even better in that situation. But these are nice. Also nice slim packaging by the way on these, so that I can put them away and they're not super bulky. These are all really bomb. This contour palette tonally is really nice. Blending wise, it's really nice. It got me a really good effect. I feel like it's very cost effective too. There's a lot of these and I think you can, I'm almost positive you can pop these out and put new ones in if you use a particular color more than the others. No mirror, which is a big problem for something like this, because if I was traveling around with this, I need a mirror, dude. Matte Not Flat seems nice. I can't really give a distinct opinion on it though, because I know this is not the right color, but I got it to do a really cool effect though. I feel like it looks really bright under my eye. I don't think it looks super dry, which is actually pretty impressive, especially after all those layers of matte-ish things on top of it. So it looks nice. I like it. I want to see if there's more colors though. I don't really know, but I'm sure there are, because NYX doesn't tend to do super limited color ranges. Powder eyeshadows are bomb and I never expect anything less. This right here is dope. Why aren't more people talking about this? I only had like 1 or 2 people recommend this to me as far as like the highlighters. These are dopeness. I guess that's the thing to leave with from this video. If you're somewhere like, I wonder, is this a good product? If it's powder, it's probably pretty good from NYX. Stay Matte Not Flat, I really like it. I just don't like the color I chose. And I don't know if that's because there's not one that's closer or because I just picked the wrong color. With that said, I can use these, so I'm gonna keep both of them. One's just a little bit more yellow than the other. And you know, when you end up doing highlighting and bronzing and everything, it ends up being fine in the end. Especially now, because it's like, you don't see the rest of my body. You don't need too. As far as like the finish though, it looks really good. It's matte, but it's not dry looking. I like this better on my skin than a lot of matte foundations. Better than the Fenty one, because like I said, Fenty goes really, really dry on me sometimes. I'm curious how well it will work without the primers that I used in this video. I wonder will it be equally as like neutral. It's not super dewy, but it's not hella dry. Really high coverage. Way higher than I usually go for on like a day-to-day basis, but it looks really nice. This is about to be my new favorite thing ever. This is the Honey Do Me Up primer, but it was super duper moisturizing. I want to use it under more like super matte foundations and see if it really gives me that balance that I need for my dry skin. That might be the reason why my skin looks really healthy and not like crepey, because usually like in this area I'll start to crepe, and in this area I'll start to crepe, and it'll just get kind of a mess. The other primer is also quite nice. Recently, I don't know if it's because of the winter, but I've just had like a little bit of like kind of dry unevenness right here in this area. Not really pores, because it's not like divots, like you can see holes like pores are, but it's just like a little bit rough in that area, and like under my lip it's always been like that too, so it did really smooth out that area. Oh, I completely forgot about the jumbo eye pencil. This is still dope. It's not really a lot to say. It's just an opaque white pencil. They used to make a bunch of colors of this. I don't know how many colors they make now, because this is the only one I would buy. It's really good at sticking onto eyeshadows. It's really good as a primer. If you're interested in trying out like brighter color eyeshadows nowadays, you know, I would definitely invest in something like this, if not this. If I'm not mistaken, this was really cheap, like $3.99, $4.99, something like that. These slip teases, I kind of mess with it. It's like a liquid lipstick gloss, like really high shine. It's very opaque. They're not in any way transfer proof. These will slip off of your face. I mess with it. I love a creamy lip. And dewy setting spray is the GOAT. Like, I love Mascara, but it's not for everybody. If you're not into super glow, it's not really for you. But this is like a good neutral, like not too dewy, but like dewy. Like you're looking a little dry, a little parched. Here's a glass of water, as opposed to like throwing the whole fish tank on you. Okie dokie friends, I hope you guys found this video at all helpful, entertaining, or if you just enjoyed watching me put makeup on my face. If you're into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my social media, Instagram and Twitter, both of which are KennieJD. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.